Hello, everyone. I almost looked at the wrong camera. Welcome back to the Real Ones. And today we're going to be doing a special episode. For context, we want to do a lot of these from now on. So we're going to change the format because we're bringing back the podcast. We want to do a bi-weekly podcast. So we're not missing nothing because I know in the past we haven't had the best track record of keeping up with the podcast. My bad. You got me.
I think
you got me.
Some of us just don't like to edit, and sometimes some of us are busy.
The good thing is,
so
now
it's the pros and cons of this, man.
We're doing the off script, or no script, off the rip, no editing. We're just no cuts, no nothing, editing. No butts, no coconuts. We're going right into it, and if we say something, we stumble, we just keep going because I don't feel like editing. Yep. But today, what I wanted to do is have us. Oh, I should real quick speak. Sorry, this is a random tangent, but I need to make sure the audio's good. Speak.
We're good.
Okay, I need to hire you a bit. Okay, now we should be good. As Eddie wait. What I was gonna say is, we're gonna try and do a podcast, a real podcast, every other week, and then in the in between weeks, do special discussions like this. For example, we just finished Fate Zero. John finished it for his first time, so we're gonna discuss it. And then
I did watch Fate, but it was one of those things where we didn't bring the podcast back.
Yeah, so he did watch.
Happened due to the fact I was like, damn, I really want to do podcast again because I was looking back some role stuff. I'm like, man, I had a lot of fun doing that.
He did start with Fate Zero,
boys, we got to record again. And then Eddie was like, yeah, we never got a response back from Dave on. So we did what was our most recent recording? It was just like a return back recording, and then from there we watched Fate Stay Night during that time. And 2 days ago, 3 days ago, we finished Fate Zero. Yeah. And now we're here.
So we do anime stuff like this, or like a random movie. Where we want to watch an anime movie soon and do a video on that. They can range from anywhere from 10 minutes to like 40 minutes. It just depends on how much we want to talk about the specific thing. We also plan on doing if we didn't finish something recently, because it's not like we're always going to be finishing anime or a series or whatever. We could just do random normal videos. Could be gaming or whatever. So we're going to try and bring you guys at least one piece of content a week. We're not promising anything more than that because I'm busy. Very, very busy with the multiple things. John's busy.
Military life keeps me busy, man.
Yeah, so...
Military life keeps you busy.
So, since it's just us, we're just trying to get at least one thing out a week, and hopefully it is what it is. What I also want to add is the reason why we're watching Fate in this order is two reasons. First off, we're just kind of going in the release order. So we started with the original Fate Stay Night, and then Zero, and we're going to go do UBW. And I know, a lot of people are probably like, Eddie, you're a hypocrite. You always say, don't watch Fate Zero before UBW. My answer to that is, if you're not going to watch,
come on,
don't watch Fate Zero before UBW if you're not going to watch the original Fate Stay Night. If you are going to watch the original Fate Stay Night, then I feel like there's a little bit of leeway. Because with Fate Zero, I feel like you have to know at least one round of Fate Stay Night going into it. Because it lays the groundwork for everything.
Well, because UBW follows, I can't think of the name right now. Rin's route. She follows Rin's route.
But either way, my point's more of just... Because Fate Zero is meant to be seen as a prequel. You're supposed to go in knowing the tragedy. It's literally written as a Greek tragedy.
Yeah, it is. And I don't know how many people here have actually finished Fate, if I can talk about this, Eddie. But the ending of Fate Zero, ties into the, main story arc of Fate Stay Night.
Yeah, it's similar with UBW.
But it ties it in.
It's similar to UBW. That's why I'm saying, if you're not going to watch Dean, watch UBW's first. Yeah. And then watch Fate Zero. But since you've already seen Fate Stay Night, I was like, okay. Zero, admittedly, does go well into UBW, which you'll see.
I'm excited.
It's just the way that Ufotable kind of did it, I think. But I also think it works after the original Stay Night because you just finished Saber's entire stuff. And I just think it works well as a progression of seeing Saber. Because in the original Fate Stay Night, Saber gets all her development, which she doesn't get in UBW, by the way. So,
okay.
I mean, no. I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
No, it's
not her route. It's not her route. It's not her route.
Yeah,
so,
it's not her route. Yeah, so it's gonna follow Rin more than it's gonna follow her. So you get more Rin development than you're gonna get Saber.
I think it's nice to pack up Saber's development in one little thing, like that, and then move on from that to UBW, and then I think after UBW we're gonna take a little Stay Night break and go to not Heaven's Feel, Apocrypha. We're gonna watch Apocrypha a little bit on the side, and then we'll go to Heaven's Feel, and then from there we'll watch other things.
My question is when are we gonna go into what's the one with Mecha Arc? I can't remember what's
called.
Well,
that's Melty Blood. You gotta finish. You gotta finish Tsukihime first.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. We've already talked about it enough where it's like I have a general idea of what's happening, but there's other routes I do need to finish. But
no, John, trust me. Everything you know, you don't know because you're okay. For context, John's an Archimedes route. John's an Archimedes route, which is fine, but you can finish Archimedes route, CL's route. You finished like 40% of the game or the visual novel, but you still don't know shit because that's near side. That's near side. Oh. Far side is Kohaku, Hisui, and Akiha's routes, and they change everything you know about the series. I can't even give you this example because you haven't seen Heaven's Feel yet, but Heaven's Feel, for example, Sakura's route is way different than the 2 routes before it. Because it's just like, for Tsukihime, for example, they just, not only do they flip everything on its head, they just give you so much more lore. They're like, okay, we got this cool shit out the way.
So it's gonna give you the story. Now we're gonna give you lore. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. Like,
but there's still story, but it goes in such a random ass path. Well, not random, but it's just such a different and unexpected path for those 3 routes that it's like you don't know. And Melty Blood follows off of, I think, what was supposed to be Satsuki's route, and Satsuki's route was supposed to be the last route of the far side. So you still need to know that knowledge. I know a lot of people start Melty Blood without that, but I think you should finish Tsukihime and then finish Kagetsu Toya, because there's a couple... Kagetsu Toya is a sequel visual novel to Tsukihime. Yeah. It's not Tsukihime 2, which was supposed to be a thing. We gotta wrap this up because we're in the Fate Zero.
Yeah.
But Kagetsu Toya, it's just a visual novel. It's like a Groundhog's Day thing, and then characters in that are in Melty Blood. But yeah, we'll get to Tsukihime eventually, guys. Don't worry. So let's talk about
Tsukihime. That's when we begin.
Yeah, once you finish Tsukihime, we'll talk about all the routes and all that, or we might even be able to do our route by route.
Okay.
If that's easier.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So what the plan's going to be is we're going to talk about some Fate Zero. We're going to rank some characters.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about some fights. But I don't know where to start, so I'm going to leave that one to you.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. I want you to choose what route, what we're going to be doing right now, path-wise.
You get to rank the servants. I don't know if I asked you this the other day, but if you did, we need to rehash it.
You sent me the message. You sent me the message. I need to pull it back up.
I will.
So I can remember who everyone is on top of my head.
Actually, quick random question. So for context, since we didn't do a Fate Stay Night one, I will give a little bit of context. John enjoyed Fate Stay Night, and we're talking about 2006 for context. Archer was his favorite servant, which I've already told him, if you love Archer in Fate Stay Night, you're going to love him in Fate Stay Night UBW. But has anyone in Fate Zero surpassed Archer, servant-wise? Has anyone surpassed Archer from Fate Stay Night as your favorite servant?
It would definitely have to be Ryder, simply due to the fact he was there. He was a badass. He was comedy relief. He was comedy relief. He just loved his character. Like, something about Ryder, the way he was, the way he was like what he brings into the story for his I can't remember.
Oh yeah, we're spoiling, by the way. Just letting you know.
Yeah, this entire episode is dead ass spoilers. If I can't remember the kid's name, but you know who I'm talking about, Evan. Say his name.
Waver.
What's his name? Yeah, Waver. Thank you. What he does for Waver at the end of the series is immaculate, because he doesn't tell Waver, fight for me, die for me. He says, no,
be my retainer.
Story.
Yeah,
be my retainer.
And that moment with Gilgamesh, that's one of the best moments.
Gilgamesh comes up to him and be like, "You are loyal. I shall let you live," and just turns around and fades away.
Yeah, bro.
And Waver just stands there, like, he's just accepting. Yeah. He's like, "Damn,
bro." Waver full on says it. He's like, "If I fight you, I'll die. I can't die."
Yeah.
So in a way, he stood up to Gilgamesh. Like, obviously, some people might not see it that way because he didn't fight him, but that was his way of telling him, like, "I cannot fight you. I have to live for my king." And Gilgamesh, I think it also reflects on Gilgamesh a little bit, because I don't know what people think of this, because I don't like talk to people about Fate all the time. But the way I see it is Gilgamesh has at least some amount of respect for Ryder as maybe not as a king, because I know he said that there's no other true king but him, but at least as like a warrior of sorts, to the point where he left Waver, because technically,
he want to, he could have just taken Waver and just killed him right there. No, he walks up to Waver and he says, "Are you gonna fight me?" And he's like, "No, I have to live." and he was like, simply.
Yeah, he said your loyalty is splendid,
almost,
never lose it.
Yeah, your loyalty is splendid, never lose it. And I'm like, damn, okay.
So good. Because, like, I feel like everyone expected Waver to be fucking gone at that moment.
But then you've told me about how Waver gets his own off
Okay,
story,
well, that was my fault. I accidentally
spoiled
him.
Yeah,
so he kind of probably
I'll read that. I'll get there when we get there.
Well, it does have an
after that, Caster, what Caster did for the story,
bro,
was
Caster was
weird,
wacky.
but how he was able to like take the gruesomeness of it and kind of flip it on its head. You know what I mean?
I don't think Caster's was anyone's like favorite servant, but he was a good villain.
He was a good villain. He brought good story in. Assassin was in like he's
especially
definitely low. He's
I think
not there.
For a series like Fate, where like the main antagonist is usually doing like some sort of not even anti-hero, but like the reasoning is never just pure evil. The reasoning's always for some sort of greater good or something.
Yeah.
Like Kotsumiene.
He simply did it because it was just like
Kotsumiene. Okay, Kotsumiene is evil, but it's still like for a reason of like some philosophical finding yourself type of shit. And then in other shit, it's like, but this man just wants to fuck shit up. That's his whole purpose. He just wants to fuck shit up.
Yeah. Well, I already talked about Assassin, Caster, we're good. Berserker and Saber, that right there, I was not expecting.
Oh, the Lancelot shit?
The Lancelot swap for Berserker and Saber. Because that fight, immaculate.
Bro,
because the fact she was like, oh my god, I know who you are, and I can't strike you down. The entire time she's monologuing, like, did you hate me that much? And he's like, I just wanted you to like, how would he say? It's been a long day, I'm sorry. But pretty much he was saying, like, I wanted you to judge me. You know what I mean? Like you were. Oh
yeah, something like I forgot exactly what the wording was, but I know what you're talking about. I'm sure they do too. But like, it's like the end of the series. Her versus Berserker. Saber should win.
Yeah.
We still don't know who the fuck Berserker is. What the fuck? It's Lancelot. Like.
Yeah. And then when she strikes him down, and she's like, I will see you. Like almost pretty much says, I'll see you later. As like kind of a. I'll see you in the afterlife, my dear friend, pretty much. You know what I mean? And like she's distraught as shit about it too. Like you see it in her face. She doesn't want to fight him the entire time. She just pretty much blocks it half the time, and she's like,
it is such pain though.
It's either this or die.
We've seen Stay Night,
so she had to strike him down.
So we know like how she finds this happiness in this route and shit, and then we have to go back to see how she was at the start of Stay Night, pretty much.
Yeah.
Which is resulted because of Zero. And like
Lancer. Okay, so we'll bounce over to Lancer. Lancer was a goat.
Oh, I know you felt pain during that moment,
dude, bro. So the fight between Saber and Lancer leading up was gonna be awesome. Like we already had some of a clash between the two, and then we were waiting, and then you know what? They gotta flip the script and be like, kill yourself. Bro, and you're just like, why?
The worst part is,
fight. I wanted to see it.
I'm sure a lot of people out there are too, but me and John, all the way from back in the days of watching like JoJo's Battle Tendency, we're such suckers for people that just respect each other as warriors at the end of the day. Like you know the whole Wamu thing.
Due to the facts for football. Oh yeah, Wamu.
That's a great example.
We'll give you time to train. They train. He kicks their ass, but he's like, I respect it simply due to the fact you're a warrior. And
in general, you know what I mean? Just whenever I see characters and they're battling, and it's not like there's even any personal spite. It's just like I fighting a great fucking battle right now.
Yeah,
like that was all of Fate Zero.
I respect you.
Ryder, Lancer, Saber. Even at the end, Gilgamesh was like, "You were worthy of me using EA on you," like which he never uses.
The only time I've ever seen him use it is in Fate Stay Night against Saber.
Yeah, he used it that one time.
And that's it.
I don't really remember exactly what happened.
One time.
He using. Well, I'm not gonna spoil nothing, but
yeah.
But yeah, he used it against the is it Marble Phantasm or Reality Marble? No, I think it's Reality Marble. There's so many fucking terms, man. But Ryder's, bro, it's such a great Noble Phantasm, bro.
Honestly, the fact he's like, I'm gonna summon this desert with my army.
All my homies, bro. All my gang. We posted up. It's like not 20 deep, not 50 deep, 10 million deep, bitch. We out here. I don't know how much it is.
And every dude that was in there fought for him, and he respected them all. That's even better. It's the fact he was a king that respected his army and understood.
Okay, and that was another thing that I really liked that we pointed out a bit. It's like there's multiple right and wrong answers in the series when it comes to how to be king. Because different people, like different strokes for different folks, pretty much. I know they had the big like talk when they were drinking the wine. Great episode, by the way. Definitely one of the best.
That was a Monogatari episode, hands down. We're gonna
just dialogue
for an episode, drink and dialogue.
Bro, it was so great though. But it's like, I can see why Saber led the way she did, taking the brunt of everything and doing all that.
Yeah.
But I can also see why Ryder did how he did, and it's just so great to see. Like, because I don't even feel myself agreeing with either side. I'm just watching a great discussion with good points, kind of, and I don't know. It was just nice to see how different kings handled shit. But definitely goated the way Ryder handled shit.
Then so it's like I haven't even ranked him yet. We're just talking about characters right now. So Archer, it's probably the same feeling as from Fate's Day Night. Goated character, but just one of those guys you just like. Gilgamesh Lancer. He's one of those ones where you're like, he's cool, but you know what I mean. You gotta have your pick and choose. Like, badass power. But okay, cooler part about what he was doing in the story was driving. Oh god, I can't think of his name now.
Kotsumine.
Kotsumine into the fact he's like, just betray him. Like,
no. Okay, Gilgamesh.
No, he doesn't care.
Okay, I'm also still not gonna try to spoil Fate's Day Night as much because I know a lot of people don't watch the original Fate's Day Night, and it's different than UBW. But I'm gonna like vaguely talk about it. But it's like, people complain about Gilgamesh in Stay Night because, he's not the same philosophical guy he was in Zero. He's just a bad guy. First off, Gilgamesh was never really like a good guy.
A good guy in the beginning.
But I see what people mean. But it's just because by the time Fate's Day Night rolls around, time has passed. He's in a different mindset, and he's after Saber.
How many years passed?
What's only 10?
To that?
But, so for Gilgamesh, it's not like
10?
too many. But it's still like, he's not the same person. He doesn't have the same like goal, and I guess he does, but he doesn't. I don't know. He's different by Fate's Day Night. But in Fate Zero, it is nice to see the whole philosophical shit, and he does a great job at convincing Kirei. I guess not even convincing, but just like telling him and letting him realize.
He's like, you know what brings you happiness. You know what these feelings are. And so when he finally taps into it, he's like, oh my god, this is amazing. And follows through with everything else without an issue. Because he's like, oh my god, Gilgamesh was right. And then, so Ryder talked, Lancer talked, Archer talked. So we've talked about everybody.
Yeah, we just brushed by Assassin, but it's just like...
No, I talked about Assassin earlier. Assassin was... I don't care for Assassin.
Well, okay. I know
Assassin was bad.
Assassin was just there to like...
Assassin was bad.
Well, Assassin's role...
It was a spy tool. Assassin was a spool.
Well, okay, let me say two things. First off, I remember when Assassin first showed up before we got boot ganked by the whole setup kill. Like, remember where they set up so Gilgamesh would kill him?
Yeah.
I know you were like, hell yeah. In this one, Assassin's actually acting like an assassin. But then from the rest of the series,
it was
just a guy with a sword.
Yeah, he was just a guy with a sword. But like Assassin,
but like as a character,
he snuck into the courtyard, was doing some real bitch and assassin shit. And then you just see him get demolished by Gilgamesh. You're like, god damn it.
Yeah, but I get what you mean, because it's like Assassin doesn't have like a personality like the rest of them, because it's just like a million fucking things. It's cool in its own way, but it's not going to be anyone's favorite servant unless you're just wacky. Yeah. But good for the plot, at least.
Yeah, good for the plot, good to drive. It lets us understand what's happening through, like, because like this is how they get their information, is Assassin. So they don't all just be like, oh yeah, we know this through omnipotence of just who I am. You know what I mean? They have an inside person spying on everyone, which is great.
Did you rank the Fate's Day Night servants back when we did that? Because I want to give them that context as well.
We have to scroll for a minute though.
Well, just search it up. Just like type in Discord like Archer or something, and it might pop up. But I would tell them my rankings for, and we're going purely anime. I know you motherfuckers are gonna be like, Eddie, what about the visual novel? We'll talk about the visual novel if John ever gets to the visual novel. These are my rankings for the anime only. Because it's slightly different because I think some characters are like better and whatnot. But and obviously not Phase Zero, because Phase Zero is not off visual novel. And I haven't read the novel. I do want to read the light novel eventually though. But I'll tell them my Fate's Day Night.
Olympic fight.
So for original Fate's Day Night anime, Fate Route. My rankings for the servants were Saber.
Okay, I found it.
Okay, Saber, Archer, Lancer, Rider, Caster, Berserker, then Assassin. I was very surprised by JONS because I thought it was like a shoo-in. Oh, Saber's best. It's her route. She's done good things. Great development.
So,
go tell him.
Yeah. So it was Archer, Assassin, Saber, Rider, Lancer, Caster, and Berserker. Okay, so Archer in that one, so simply due to the fact he was just so badass with Rin,
yeah.
like the way he dies, his
character it's obvious
and what
he dies, but
yeah, but every person dies.
Yeah. God damn it.
Yeah. I'm gonna say the way he dies, you know what I mean? The way he goes out, fucking.
True. It's like it's because like you want to hate him, but at the same time, it's like
he drives the main character to be better.
At the same time, it's
he's a douche to the main character to make him better. He's like, he literally says like there's multiple times in the show where it flashes back to him saying something to him. And he's like, oh my god, he's
and he just remembers,
and that's what allows him to tap into his power more, and like et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Next is Assassin because he wanted to fight Saber as a knight to a
he was introduced late, but like he did good. He did good.
Yeah, he was a samurai actually.
Yeah, he was.
I like Assassin because he was samurai. Samurais are goated, so I don't care. Assassin, just the fight between the two, pretty goated. Saber because it's Saber.
Yeah,
Rider. Who was Rider?
Rider was Shinji's servant, the hot one with the pink hair.
Oh yeah, she was hot, but she wasn't really there enough for the story. She was just there to be an antagonist, pretty much.
Fair enough.
Lancer,
blue hair.
Half these I don't remember. Blue hair.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's because I'm focused on Fate Stay Night right now.
I'm not gonna spoil, but at the end he kind of just clutches. Remember? Okay, this is a small spoiler, but they see Gilgamesh, and then
he tries
and
to
guys,
fight Gilgamesh
for everyone that's like the same thing happened in UBW, it's different than how it happens in UBW.
So the way that fight goes between Lancer and Gilgamesh, pretty peak. Caster in that one was just a really sad woman who's like, I need someone, and I'm like, I get it. And then Berserker, just an omnipotent god that was just way too strong for his own good.
Yeah.
But I like the fact they tie into who he was controlled by and like what the whole I'm gonna say family line of Ilya and the Ironsburns and stuff. Because it's just this random girl with this big ass power. You know what I mean? But then in Fate Zero, you find out who she is, who her mom is, who she's related to.
Yeah, and now you know why she calls Shiro Oni-chan. Because
it's one of those things in Japan. They say it naturally.
Well, yeah, but because
in school
it's very obvious she wasn't. It's very obvious she was saying it because she knows about Kiritsugu.
Yeah, but I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Leading up to
that, so that's why you can
in Japanese culture.
No, I agree.
It was this.
I didn't know where you're going with it, but I agree. It's since you don't know the full context, you're just like, oh, she's just calling this guy Big Brother because. Maybe she sees him that way, or maybe it's her little quirk.
It's what girls do. It's what little girls do with guys who are a little bit older. They'll just say Oni.
But now we know the truth.
But now we know they're. I'm gonna say.
Okay, related. 1 second. I'm going to mute myself. My dad is calling me. You keep talking to them.
Oof. So this is weird not having to edit this out. So I think it's one of the things where it just leads into a pretty good understanding of how the story goes for character development and all that. Let's see. Edmonds, I get it. Fate Stay Night was pretty good for him. But choosing Saber as top, really? So his is Saber, Archer, Lancer, Rider, Caster, Berserker, Assassin. I respect it, but it's one of those ones where I'm also it's touchy because he chose Saber because it's Saber, and he's she's main girl protagonist, so whatever. Archer, because we all like Archer. Hands down, Eddie and I have the same respect for Archer because of how badass he was. Lancer, same situation in the final fight, came clutch, said fuck you, I'm doing this. Ryder, I don't really understand Eddie's spot on Ryder, but she's in the same spot as me, so I just might simply do she's hot. Caster, same thing where she was just it is what it is. Berserker, I think he liked the fact of how badass he was and just the fact he brought a challenge to the team. Assassin, I don't understand why he chose Assassin for bottom. Evan, why did you choose Assassin for bottom?
I don't know. I just like Berserker more.
Okay.
I guess in the anime and just in general for Fate route, I guess Berserker doesn't get as much as Assassin, but I like Berserker.
Because I'm talking about your list right here as I'm looking at it. I'm just trying to figure out why you put it. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. And so
besides that, is there anything that pops out to you?
Rider at 4, not really. Just I'm just looking at yours. Honestly, I understand why you put Caster there. I understand why you put like writer there.
Well, yeah, because my thoughts was like at least Castor got some
development.
development.
Not really much. Yeah.
Berserker, I don't remember how much he got in Fate Route. And Assassin's also kind of just like, I like him, but he's really just there, and he doesn't. I mean, it's part of his character that he doesn't know who he is, or not even that he doesn't know who he is. It's like he's from a myth, like he's a man that doesn't exist, kind of. The Sasori Kojiro, whatever his name is, I forgot. But yeah, we trying to move on to Fate Zero now. We're already like 30 minutes in, and we barely talked about Fate Zero.
We just literally talked about Fate leading into Fate Zero. Why we like?
No, that's true. That's true. I think it's fair. It's just like I don't want people that have only seen Fate Zero to be like, "What the fuck are they talking about?"
Then we can talk about the fights if you want.
Well, we got to do our Fate Zero servant rankings.
Oh yeah, you're right. Where is it at? Hold
I
on.
think
I
I
find
sent
where
you
you put
mine.
on all their names. Did you? It didn't. It's not showing up now for some reason.
I can say mine right now. Because you haven't done yours,
Okay.
so you'll be making yours on the spot, right?
I haven't. Yeah. Okay. Mine's on the spot.
So, we have Ryder at the top.
Ryder top, yep.
Lancer second. And I haven't updated this, so I might actually change it live. Because it's been a minute since I've seen Fate Zero. It's been like 6 months since I last seen it. And with rewatches for the Fate anime, I be changing sometimes, man. I be changing these characters' orders. But let's see. So I had Ryder, Lancer, Gilgamesh, Saber, Berserker, Castor, then Assassin. I'm trying to think. I liked Lance a lot, but I think this is still fair. The only thing that I might change is Gilgamesh over Lancer, but I really liked Lancer. I don't know, but Ryder's still definitely top. I think Saber's still under Archer, Lancer, and Ryder in this one. Yeah. Even though I do like Saber, it's just a hard. No, that's fine. It's just a hard.
You sent it to the chat. I know you did. I remember reading it earlier, but
I just said it, so it's fine.
I'm just trying to figure it out. Yeah. So, because I like to be like.
Well, I can text you again. I can text you again. I'll text you.
Yeah, just text me it again.
The only reason I'm not going on my thing right now is because this is the screen they're seeing.
Yeah.
So if I go out of it, they're not going to see us.
I'm gonna put Ryder. I'll put Ryder. I have to put Saber next.
Hold on.
Actually, it's gonna be.
I'm sending you the message.
Oh God. Okay, there we go. Yeah, for some reason that disappeared on me. So it's gonna be Ryder, Lancer.
Oh.
Honestly, I
don't copy my order, damn it.
I'm kidding. I like yours more than anything because I really agree with it across the board. Maybe switch Gilgamesh and Lancer just because I like Gilgamesh a lot because of what he drives in the story.
You wouldn't switch Castor up because I know you like Castor in this. Like over Berserker, maybe?
Berserker. So mine would be Ryder, Archer, Lancer, Saber, Castor, Berserk, Assassin. That's what my list would be. It's close to Edmund's, was slightly changed by characters.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. I'm trying to think. I guess we can move on from that to. I did write down a couple things we could talk about. I just got to pull it up. Okay, overall, this is gonna be easy, I think. But who was your favorite character?
Ryder or Lancer, really?
Emiya Kiritsugu. What about him? Do it for him.
I thought, yeah.
The only reason I can see why maybe not.
I'm not him.
It's like with Kiritsugu, it's weird because it's like you've seen Fate Stay Night, so you know you're gonna like him. You're kind of battling back and forth of like, okay, this dude is like, what's his deal? Then you see, and then like the last from episode 15 onwards, you just get hit by a backstory. Oh my god, the Grail, all this crazy shit. Oh my god, this man's suffering. And you're like, you just get hit through it with the back end of the show. It's all this.
I think Kiritsugu would definitely. His favorite character then would main character, Kiritsugu. But if we're talking
if you can include servants, you can include servants. You can put a servant
wise. So favorite character, main that's not a servant, Kiritsugu. Favorite character that is a servant would have to be Ryder.
So would you have Ryder over?
That's the final standing. No, so it's a close. It's like that. It's super close.
Well, I will say I think
Kiritsugu's backstory. I was almost crying watching those 2 episodes. He's definitely the best.
It's hard comparing them as just how much I like them because I like them both a lot. Especially with Kiritsugu's practically a legacy character, especially with Fate Stay Night. A lot of it has to stem from his wanting to be a hero. which you see in Shiro.
Then you understand why Shiro wants to be a hero, but you also see the downfall of both of them and what happens to both of them trying to be a hero.
Exactly.
Especially Kiritsugu. You watch Kiritsugu go from this happy-go-lucky kid to what he is now in a span of what, that was 15 years?
Yeah, I did want to mention his backstory. I don't know how people can stomach it without having read Tsukihime, because you've read some. I've read it all.
Yeah.
I actually have read most of it. So when I originally got into Fate, I think I watched Fate Stay Night and started Tsukihime around the same time, and I think I definitely finished Tsukihime either before I finished Fate Stay Night, and if not then, definitely before I finished Fate Zero. So I had finished it. And that episode was like, hell yeah, because they were mentioning like vampires, dead apostles. I was like, oh shit.
And I called it too. And it was like the way, like, I literally smacked my keyboard. I'm like, they're talking about dead apostles right now. And he's like, maybe. I'm like, and then they let it play a couple seconds forward. Dead apostles. I'm like, I fucking called it.
Yeah, that whole
simply due to the fact I played Tsukihime. That's literally I knew it due to the fact of Tsukihime. There was no other way I could have guessed it if it wasn't for Tsukihime.
Yeah, so I think if you haven't read Tsukihime, that's another reason. If you're a Fate Zero fanboy, Tsukihime might improve the experience a little bit because you get a little bit more context. Because for people that don't know, the other side of the Nasuverse has some crazy shit that y'all don't be knowing about.
Yeah.
Not only Tsukihime too, like Karo no Kyokai, Mahaya, which we are gonna get John to watch some Karo no Kyokai soon. We're gonna kind of space it out a bit between like Fate and shit. We might watch the first movie soon. I haven't decided if we want to do like these for it yet. And if we do, I don't know if we want to do one for each movie or one when we just finish it all.
Well, we'll finish the movie series and then progress. Just kind of like how it'll make more sense to follow a story all the way through. And then
Karo no Kyokai is weird, right?
Talk about it.
Because like the first one, I know we're not going to have much to talk about because the first one, it's one of those series that airs like it's like Monogatari but more confusing in terms of like the timeline it airs in.
So like, it's like watching why can't I remember what it's called right now? Monogatari, where it follows like like how he meets Shinobu, the movies, the 3 movies that come out.
It's just I don't know how to explain it.
It's so like that. Like
the first movie takes place in this time, and then the second movie's way earlier, and then the third movie is before the first movie, I think. But
so
still,
if we're gonna watch it,
the second movie,
2, 1, 3.
No. You have to watch them in order. You're meant to piece the puzzles together. It's how it's how it's written. But it's just like you don't. It's one of those things where the farther you go, the more you start to connect things. But it makes for like barely any conversation after like the first one, for example, because you just don't know exactly what's going on fully. You just don't like.
It makes sense just to connecting them.
Yeah, after the first movie, all you're gonna say is, "Oh, her powers are cool. They're the same as Shiki from Tsukihime's. That's nice. Oh, look, it's Ako's older sister." And that's pretty much all you're gonna say, probably.
Yeah.
But it's fine. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, I do agree.
What
other things can you really talk about?
We can talk about moments. We can talk about fights. I don't know.
I do want to talk about fights. So the Gilgamesh versus Berserker fight on the plane.
Ooh, I didn't know you were gonna mention that one, but it was good. Yeah, no,
that was an immaculate fight.
I don't think about that one that much, but it is good.
I'm a CG nut. There's a little bit of CG
but it's
in it,
good.
But not really a lot. It's good.
Wait,
CG.
Do you not like CG?
No, I'm a CG nut. That's what I mean. I love
so
CG.
You like it?
Okay. Remember, I took 3D modeling, so for this kind of stuff, I want to get deeper into it and understand how to use
Discord
like Blender and other things like that. Oof. But like for me, I want to
Chick-fil-A.
Like, let's go. But does that mean we're finally getting more Chick-fil-A?
Hopefully.
Maybe. But the way the fight rolls in that is, I like the way it flows between the monster fight and just them. Simply due to the fact it's like you got this dude hijacks a fucking fighter jet and just flies right at him.
Well, they do that a lot. He goes after him. In Zero, where they have like multiple fights going on. Well, they do that in all Fate, I guess, but where it's like multiple banger fights going on.
Yeah, it's multiple banger fights. You have 4 characters trying to fight this big ass monster. Then you have a 1v1 in planes.
Bro, even at the end of the
series, trying to take each other out.
We had Saber versus Lancelot, Ryder versus Gilgamesh, and then Kiritsugu versus Kotsamine. And all 3 of those
all go to fights. All go to fights as well.
I also wanted to mention
that one right there is probably up there in that one's up there in the fight category. That fight alone
I still
due
don't
to
know
the
my
fact
favorite
I like
fight
the way it
is.
was paced. I like the way it was the animation. I love the entire time Gilgamesh is sitting there just okay, dog.
Yeah, he really did not
And
see
just keeps
Berserker as
going.
like a worthy
No fucks given.
motherfucker.
He's like, yeah, no, this dude's nothing to me, and just kept going.
I know a lot of people's favorite fight is Kiritsugu versus Kirei, and I think it's a great moment.
It's a great moment.
And I think the fight's still very good.
Best fight.
But I think my favorite fight might not be that. But it is a nice grounded fight, which I do appreciate.
Yeah,
it's as grounded as Fate can get.
Yeah, it's a good equal fight, and we get to see them attempt to use their power to the max. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the time,
it does
slowing
slap,
and.
But like Gilgamesh versus Rider, Gilgamesh versus Rider wasn't really a fight though. That was just a massacre.
Yeah, it was just more or less because he was gonna fight him, but then but the fact he had the drive to get right up in front of him and attempt to do it, even though he was stabbed through the side, he was stabbed through the leg. This dude was just taking.
I think if Saber versus Lancer got to happen, that probably would have been one of the best for sure.
Yeah, that's another.
Maybe Kiritsugu versus Kirei is my favorite fight because it's like.
I respect that.
I think it is. It's hard, but there's just so many good ones. God damn it!
You just glad at the end you get to see people attempt to use their power to the max. What?
We haven't talked about the man who was written like a shonen protagonist. The guy who lost everything, had nothing, but unlike a shonen protagonist, he just dies in the end. Kardia Mato. The one that wanted to save Sakura.
Yeah. He was a G. I don't care what people say.
So
that was a homie right there.
I was reading this interview,
we watched the real one that day.
And it was with Nasu Takeuchi, so I think you say it, which is Nasu's, Nasuverse.
Yeah.
Takeuchi's the artist for like a lot of that shit. And then Gen Urobuchi was in there too, which I told you wrote Monica Magica, Bubble, and then it wrote Fate Zero. So Nasu was like, Kardia was written like a shonen protagonist. If I was writing it, I would have had him win in the end. But he was pretty much said, you're fucked up, man. That was a lot of that interview. He was like, the way you write, it's like, no one else could have written Fate Zero the way it is. Cause it's like, obviously after Stay Night, even if you haven't seen the other two routes, like if you read the original visual novel and finished all the routes, Fate Zero has a lot of setup from that. Like the whole past stuff. But a lot of specific little things was Gen Urobuchi just being like, all right, we're going to make this shit gory. We're going to do this, whatever. Like maybe specific servants that were in there weren't mentioned. Just different shit. That's pretty wacky.
I love the fact he just kept trying. He just wanted to do it.
Yeah, bro, you want to see him win, but you already know. It's
like the entire time.
It's pain watching everyone the whole time. Yeah. You know how it ends. You know no one wins.
Yeah, like the fact he goes to soccer, he's like, I can't remember what he says, but like he has a like as he's dying, he has that. moment,
he was like
where he thinks he's
they're gonna be sisters
Sakura,
again.
He's got Rin. They're gonna be sisters again, and then it jumps to him just falling down the stairs, eyes clear.
Yeah,
and then
he's like, you can't. What is it called? Go against Grandpa or something.
Yeah, you should never go against Grandpa. Pretty much.
It's pain.
And
it's pain.
You're like, damn. And then the fact Gilgamesh uses him to kill, not kill, but like. Permanently disable Rin's mom.
Oh yeah, Aoi.
You know what I mean? The fact he's like
dude, I feel so bad because
the next thing you know, you jump to him choking.
Dude, it's just so quiet, and you just hear, and it's like,
you hear the sound of him choking her.
It's just he's at his fucking limit. He just got set up. It's so pain. That's one of the worst moments in the whole fucking thing, dude.
And then he gets up after doing it and just snaps. Screaming, losing his mind, crying. You know what I mean?
You can't help but feel bad for the man. I know he choked a girl, but
the fattest L in the show.
He really does.
Yeah, the dude catches the biggest L in that entire show, hands down.
Like, I know he didn't get all that much screen time, but besides like Kiritsugu and like Ryder, he's definitely one of he's got to be top 5, I think. I'm not going really deep into it. I'm not going to go through each character right now. This is just a chill podcast, but
too much. Yeah.
He's definitely one of my favorites. It just fucking sucks, man. It just fucking sucks. I liked seeing like him cutting from him to like Berserker and stuff during like all that stuff.
Yeah.
Where he was like freaking out, then it cut to Berserker being like, and
it's almost like Berserker was feeling what he was feeling. You know what I mean? It's a weird emotional bond, almost not emotional bond, but like emotional like situation, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
Oh, Ilya, the way Ilya dies is Bruh.
You mean
that should have not have happened. Irie, excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Irie and the way they kill Ilya in the cup. Get fucked, dude.
Oh, you mean like the Holy Grail thing? I thought you meant like real.
Yeah,
I was like, Ilya is still alive.
I'm talking about both. I am talking about both.
Well, Ilya's alive.
So the way she dies
in Stay Night, remember?
Yeah. Okay, so Ilya in Stay Night's alive, but the way her mom dies.
Yeah. To become like the Grail.
To become the Grail. Dude, that one was rough.
And see, now you know why in Fate Stay Night that Kiritsugu got Ilya for the Grail.
Yeah.
Because it's like she's homunculus and all that.
She's a homunculi. And to be,
dude, seeing like that whole thing with Kiritsugu being forced to keep choosing and choosing up until it being his own family against the world.
It's either choose people or choose your family.
And he stuck to his ideals.
Like, the dude literally had his daughter's hand, just says, "I'm sorry," and shoots her pretty much.
Yeah.
His wife loses her fucking mind. Like, the fact they were able to pull her personality and be able to, like, make her lose her mind. Was like, that was some peak writing right there. That's all I'm saying. Peak writing.
Great. It was great. That whole thing, I love.
And then
mental searches
and
like that.
Choke his own wife and snap her neck and dies the same way she dies in reality, but by the other dude's hand.
It is insane.
It's just the way they writ that story was just perfect. Honestly,
bro, legitimately, Fate Zero, like, there's really nothing wrong with it. It's just so fucking well done. You know?
Yeah.
It keeps you, like, on the edge of your seat the entire time. Even knowing how it's going to end.
Except for when you have Monogatari, like, moments. But even
then, you're just interested in, like, a conversation. Because I remember the whole time we were watching that, we're like... Well, you were like, because I already seen it. But it was just, like, nice. They're having a good conversation. About, like, what it is to be a king and shit. And all this other stuff.
They're talking philosophy the entire time in that conversation. Yeah.
Even just seeing the random shit of like, man, this wine fucking sucks. Here, I have this one, and Ryder being like, this shit busting. Like, even that was cool.
Yeah, this shit immaculate. The fact that they just put down their swords to sit around and just drink together. That's where it was at. It's like, here, have some of this really crappy wine. He tries it, tells him it's shit. Try this. Makes wine, gives it to him, and he's like, damn, this shit smacks. And
the thing is, it wasn't even bad wine. It was good wine. It's just like Gilgamesh has the best wine.
Yeah. Before they fight, they have another glass of wine.
Yeah, and then he threw it. Dude, so cool. Such a cool fucking moment when they're both walking back to back, and you just throw. Such cool moments.
And the second those cups sit together, they turn. Boom! Right for it.
Yeah. Bro, when Waver yelled it.
Yeah, okay, seeing Waver finally kind of accept that side too.
Bro,
like, this is
his grandpa.
Oh,
that whole thing. The goat.
So his grandpa knows it's not him. But like, my grandchildren haven't even like come and seen us in this many years.
Yeah.
But you may not be a real grandson, but god damn it, you really are though.
Yeah, he was like,
due to the fact, it's like, you spent the last how long here? Like, you're
he was like, my wife's never been this happy in a fat fucking minute.
She hasn't smiled like this. She hasn't been this happy. Please stay with us longer.
Dude, it's so wholesome.
At the end, after Ryder dies, he still asks, like, hey, can I stay with you guys a little bit longer? Like, I want to travel around, but can I stay with you guys?
This is a bit of a tangent, right? Yes. But it kind of goes off of that. So, something that's great about that, it's like that specific thing, for example. It feels so randomly fucking disconnected from the rest of Fate Zero. In terms of, like, we have this whole story about this Holy Grail, and then we got, like, this guy with his grandpa and grandma. And then, for example, you can say that about different characters. A good thing about Fate Zero is, even though Kiritsugu is the main character, there's a lot of episodes where he's barely in it, because everyone gets main character screen time. So, for example, Fate Stay Night, you still are always rooting for Shiro, because he is the main character. Yeah. We see everything from his point of view. But, like, what I was trying to say with, like, oh, like, this part's so separate from the rest of this is it's, like, kind of like real life. Like, for example, you have a lot of things that I will never see because you're the main character of your life. You're a side character or, like, a role player in my life, right? As a story. I'm the main character in my story, but to you, I'm, like, the MC's best friend, you know? But then, like, my younger sister, I don't know anything that happens in her life because she has a whole life separate from me. But from my point of view, she's a side character. In Fate Zero, you don't get that because we see everyone's point of view. everyone's the main character.
You're getting separate jumps between everyone.
So it's like something like that with the whole grandpa thing.
You get dedicated moments with Ryder and Waver.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. If it was like a traditional story where Kiritsugu was followed the entire time, we would have never seen those moments with Waver. We would have only probably seen the Kotomine and Gilgamesh shit because they're the main antagonists, kind of.
Yeah.
But like, we wouldn't see all this shit. So that's what I do like about Fate Zero. They'll take like these things that have nothing to do with the war.
And instead of giving Kiritsugu main time, like screen time, they give it to like Saber and Irie.
Yeah.
Together.
And it was a good battle plan. Oh,
it was a good battle.
You want to talk about that too? Just how different the fighting was. Like, they take full advantage of the battle system in Fate Zero to like, you know what I mean? Like, do some goated fights.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of how I can explain it really, because
I mean,
it's
the
they
rib
use
powder bullets.
Yeah, like
that was cool.
So the way, the rib powder bullets, the way he's able to have bullets to stop another person's magic circuits from working and pretty much kill him almost on the spot if he wanted to. You know what I mean? Like with the fight with,
or maybe not kill them, but just like paralyze them, some shit.
Yeah, like pretty much no, because if he wanted to, he could have killed. God, I can't remember his name now. But he could have. Yeah,
Arch or something.
But pretty much like. Yeah, it's Archer's Master. He could have
not Archer's Master, Lancer's Master.
Lancer's Master, excuse me. He could have finished Lancer's Master right then and there. But
I guess he just
simply said.
Well, no, because Lancer saved him. Because remember, Lancer was like, consider this whatever, because Saber's granted shit, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Saber.
But if he wanted to, he could have killed him in that half a second before him being there. He literally just shot him. Bam,
I don't know, because I think Kiritsugu would have. I think Kiritsugu would have done it if he could have. I don't think he had the time.
I don't know. I feel like he had a plan behind it. Because, like, he wanted to survive.
Well, to be fair, he did end up killing him later. And getting Lancer as well. His plan...
Yeah, and that's what he was trying to do.
Maybe
having a free servant out there.
Maybe you're right.
He was trying to get all of them.
Yeah, you're probably right, to be honest. I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Let's see, is there anything else we gotta mention? I don't know. I'm 45 minutes in.
Topics, really, because damn.
I know, it's just that Fate Zero is such like a beloved series. I don't want to miss anything because like the fans go crazy.
Yeah.
And I like talking about it. I'm just. Oh, you can talk about how much you freaked out when you saw Shiro at the end, and the whole moment happened because when you saw Saber doing that, and then you saw the Grail spill out the blood, the mud of the Grail, you're like, oh, so this is how the fucking fire started. Holy shit!
Because the way I thought it worked, that like what happened is when they destroyed it, there was like a massive flare, like explosion. You know what I mean? That caused an inferno. Reality was the blood
into thinking it was Excalibur. Almost.
Yeah. And in reality, it's the blood of the Grail spilling out and just lighting everything on fire, and that's what destroys the town. And the fact at the end, Kiritsugu is running around trying to find people, like screaming, losing his mind, holding dead kids. The whole 9 yards, you know what I mean? Dead people, dead kids. He finds Shiro, and it's like he finally has like, oh my god, I actually saved someone. Someone's alive. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he feels like he was saved almost, because like I'm real with you. If he didn't find Shiro, I thought he probably would have killed himself, dead ass. He probably would have gone and killed himself because he was trying so hard. You see it in his eyes.
Well, yeah,
he's like, I did my best,
everything.
But this destruction happened. He lost everything. He lost his wife. He lost his family. He's lost everything. It's just him now.
Can't see his daughter because he lost.
Can't see his daughter now. Yeah, lost the Grail. Can't see the daughter. Everything that happens, he's just like his saving grace was Shiro. If it wasn't for Shiro, it would have been over.
Yeah.
But Shiro says he saved him more than anything.
Yeah, we'll probably talk more about this in UBW, but I like how you've grown to hate that archetype of like, you know, when we started Stay Night, you're like, I'm gonna hate this because Shiro was like, I want to save everyone, and you're like, I don't like these type of characters. But I think Fate does it in a way that makes it work, especially with the survivor's guilt part, and just I don't know. I think as it moves, like, because they do it a lot more in UBW, they focus on it a lot more than the Fate route, I think, but we can still talk about it. It's just I don't know, because you don't hate it obviously. You're still watching Shiro.
When I first met Shiro, I'm like, God, I'm gonna hate this character. Like, he's just this character who wants to save everyone, like any other shonen protagonist. But then you realize, like, holy shit, there's a reason behind it. And then you watch Fate Zero,
and you like, oh shit,
where that mentality
and how he was raised
because why he wants it. Yeah.
Because now we know how Kiritsugu
like,
is.
Yeah, because that's all Kiritsugu wants. He wants to be this hero. He wants to save people.
Like, especially
he wants to be
like
a hero.
Getting the context of Kiritsugu's past, which was the same pretty much in terms of like wanting to be a hero, and seeing how much pain he went through. Now you can understand why he raised Shiro.
He didn't want Shiro
in terms of like
to be. Yeah.
You're about to say what I was about to say. He didn't want to be a mage. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't want to be a mage. He didn't want to see
because he knows all the pain that comes from fucking, magecraft and all that shit. Holy Grail War's in it.
Yeah.
It's just it's so well done because they add to each other's character a lot.
It really does. With like honestly, if you didn't watch Fate Zero and you just watch Fate, you could hate Shiro probably. But once you watch Fate Zero, it makes so much more sense of why Shiro is the way he is. And how his character progression builds.
Well, the same with Kiritsugu, because in Fate Stay Night, the way that Saber talks about him, because obviously we know why Saber doesn't like him, but you would think Kiritsugu is just an asshole because the only way she explains him in the Fate route, in that moment, was like he doesn't care for others. He killed his own mom, and all this, and he's the one that fucked up the war and all this shit. Like Saber just paints him to be a bad guy pretty much. And then that's all you really know of him is from what Saber said. So you go into, unless you read the other routes, like most people would, then you wouldn't know any more tidbits. You just know that, and then we go to Fate Zero. Now we know that that's not the case. We know that he is... Do we call him a good person, or do we call him someone with good intentions, but just doesn't mind getting his hands dirty?
Good intentions, bad execution. That's all it was.
Well, there is no good execution because it's a whole one of the big themes of Fate is you can't save everybody.
Yeah, that's obviously it. But I feel like if he could have found a different way to try to execute things, maybe. But obviously, there's no way that's happening. But the fact it's like he had to kill his own dad to save everyone, and then leads down the path of killing.
Yeah,
he's just one of those things where it's like if he didn't have to kill, he could have tried to execute being a hero a little bit better instead of. It's just one of those things. I think they bring it up. It's like his mom was the only one he got. So like, cause she was even like, sorry, I couldn't raise you like a normal son or whatever, because this is all I know. So it's just one of those things where it's like, damn. But at the end of the day, her being his mom is better than no mom, and she's obviously still a great mom. Yeah, and you know she loved him, and she's like, I may have not been the best mom, but in the end, I still love you. Pretty much is what she was saying to him.
That whole moment, you just feel so bad because they're trying to like, what's it called?
They're trying to talk like they're gonna
not talk about and not mention the elephant in the room that they know.
Yeah, the elephant in the room that she's gonna die, and he has to kill her.
So
she's like, bro. She was like, can you just talk with me for a while? And he says yes, and they talk, and that's all it is. And when he blows her up, you get that another moment of just like after killing, not killing, but like destroying the town. That moment of his tears, his emotions overflow, and he loses his mind. He's crying. He's like, he's alone. He just lost everything again. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. This one person that gave him some level of hope, raised him. It's just what made him who he is now. Just lost him, just like that.
The only like saving grace of all that is knowing that he died happy, because he had Shiro. Thank God
he
for
died
that.
Happy having Shiro.
Because as we already mentioned, without that, you'd probably fucking lose it all for real.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a damn. It's just a damn. Like, because every time something happened, I remember you're just like, this motherfucker can't catch a break. Golly,
dude. Every moment. If it wasn't his wife, it was backstory with his dad, backstory with his mom,
even as like assistant
and then
girl.
Fucking destruction of the city. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's crazy.
It's just an L. And his best, end quote, like best friend, kind of like, I don't know what you'd call her, but like the fact he had to see her turn into this monster in front of his eyes. You know what I mean? And so it's the L.
The green hair girl?
No, not the green hair girl. The like the girl who calls him Carrie. You know what I mean? Her.
Oh, you're talking about Shirley. Okay, we're talking about back
Shirley.
In the day.
Yeah, Shirley. So back in the day. So obviously that's an L, having to see her do that, but then have to turn around to kill his dad, and then watch his entire town get destroyed. Multiple big L's within 2 days, pretty much. That's what I'm gonna say it. And then after that, it leads into his mom, the girl, and then leads into destruction of the city. Just back to back, and his wife, excuse me, Death of his wife, destruction of the city. Just back-to-back L's, can't catch a break. And in the end, he can't even go see his daughter. You know what I mean? That's his final L. Man. But he eventually gets Shiro. And the fact he makes multiple attempts to go see his daughter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was dedicated to his daughter enough to go back. Even after saving Shiro.
You gotta feel bad for Ilya.
I have this son.
Just knowing
I have this son, but I have a daughter. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get this daughter somehow. So maybe she can come live with us. I don't know what his plan was. But the fact is, like, I got this kid. I know I have another kid. I need to go get this girl so we can be together as a family. Imagine how much fate could change if she was there. Yeah. If Ilya was there, imagine.
Well, at the end of the day, it's just like since Irie became the girl and all that bullshit happened, they need. I mean, like Ilya's next in line.
Yeah, obviously. So it's just one of those things. Imagine if he was able to get her and be able to protect her, like have Shiro protect her.
But yeah, it's just the Ironsburns were just stingy, man.
Yeah, that's all it was.
Is that it? I mean, I just really want to make sure we covered all bases. I think we did.
I feel like we've covered all bases. Because like I'm perfectly content.
I'm just gonna Google Fate Zero. Let's see if there's anything random that we could talk about.
Okay. I have to pee really bad, so it's like I don't want to get up.
We'll be done soon. Okay. Oh, what did you use? Okay. What?
Oh, remember how we talked about what cool tattoos there would be if you got
one?
Oh
yeah, like the command seals.
Yeah, the command seals. Yeah. I definitely would like to have a command seal at some point.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Because like my right arm is completely bare. I kind of want to do an anime sleeve. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like, how cool would it be to get one of the seals up here on my bicep? Well, but what one would I get is the question.
At that point, you might as well just get the hand, because it'd just be weird if you had one command seal on your bicep.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna get one on my hand yet. I'm still in the military. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get a tattoo on my hand right now.
Yeah, obviously.
That's why my tattoos are up here on my chest.
Yeah, right it's kind of L, just because like the lore, but it's a tattoo, so it doesn't matter too much. It's just for fun.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention, now that you have, because you know how Sakura was in Fate Stay Night, just being this like senpai. Did you like her in Fate Stay Night at all?
I liked her. I thought her character. I liked her character. The fact she was like, Shiro may not be the best, but I'm here for him. I'm here to help him out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Two good friends. She's just there to help. You know what I mean?
And because the anime for the Fate route they didn't spoil it to the point where you knew they were sisters, but they did change it to where you knew a lot more than you would have if they just went normally. To knowing that there's some sort of past, but I think that it's not in the worst way they could have done it, because they could have just spoiled shit up that they were sisters. But
they don't really mention it. It's just the awkwardness between them. There was something there that you didn't know.
Now that you know the whole thing, it's like going forward into the next two routes, because you know her route's the last one. I don't know. Like, what are your thoughts? Are you just like, I don't know.
I'm excited really, because like we got Shiro's point of view. We're about to get Rin's point of view of everything, and then after that, it should be her view, right?
Well, not necessarily the point of view, but I guess it's the route, because the first one was Saber's route.
Yeah, so Saber.
It's still all from Shiro's point of view.
But you know what I mean. It follows more in depth to said character.
But yeah.
You know what I mean. We'll understand each character more and their motives and how they work. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I'm mostly looking forward to is understanding how the characters think, how they work, and what their plan is. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
And how they affect the main character when he's in a relationship with them, because like that's part of the whole butterfly effect thing. It's like in Sakura's route. That's what I meant to say. In like Sakura's route, Shiro takes a different path. In Rin's route, he takes a different path with her. And then in Saber's route, he takes probably the most optimistic path overall.
Yeah.
At least as far as I want to say right now without spoiling things. But I think that's probably all we got. I mean, we didn't need to talk about too much. If there's anything like extra that you guys want us to talk about, maybe mention in the comments and we might just reply to it or something. I don't know. I mean, we're still going to have more podcasts of Fate in the future, I hope, so we can just mention it there as well real quick. Plan. So yeah, we finished, well, I already finished it all, but JONS finished Fate Stay Night and Fate Zero. We're going to go into UBW next. Very, very excited, because that is my favorite of the anime, and I think John will like it a lot too.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So, okay, we got a waffle for 50 seconds, because we're at 59 minutes and 10 seconds, and it's bothering me. We gotta hit an hour.
My boy.
We can do an outro. You want to do the outro? You want to do the outro?
I mean, I guess so. So this has been the Real Ones podcast. my name is Jonathan, or known as Smudge Talks on YouTube. We have Eddie Hates Anime here, also known as Eddie, our boy, the SoundCloud rapper, the GOAT, the man, the legend. If you need more Fate content, obviously we have more coming. If you have any ideas what we should talk about, we can put it down in the comments.
15,
Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe button.
12,
Eddie,
11,
you gotta stop counting, bro.
10,
You're messing me up, man. 9, 8. God, what else can there be?
Like the video, comment, subscribe.
Like the video, comment,
Check
subscribe.
out our channels. We hit an hour.
This has been the boys. We'd like to thank you for watching and spending your time with us.
Hell yeah.
Make sure you check
someone
out
made it this far,
everyone's content.
maybe comment your guys' favorite servant list.
Yeah,
that would be interesting.
Comment your favorite server list, if anything. Yeah,
or just
I wanna
anything
see
you
what
want.
guys think.
You know. All right, bye guys. It's been Real Ones.